Alright, hello, what's up everybody? This is Zacharias here. We're back with more of Abaddon 2 The Corruption. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and continue. And explore the rest of the downstairs portion of Abaddon. We already talked to Deeren, who will have more missions for us as we progress. And off screen, I did retrain one of my adventurers. It was Dedrick, because I feel I was almost taking him on the wrong path. So in a minute here, once I explore downstairs, I'll show you what I trained him in. I trained him on the right path instead of the left. So that's where the route I'm going, because I feel like the left path with the spells is not as handy as the buffs and stuff like that. So I did retrain him in that regard. One of Abaddon's stewards wanders around these vast, damp storage chambers. He seems quite happy, whistling a jaunty tune. Then he sees you. Oh, a hand. Come down from your lofty heights to see how the little people live. I am Steward Galoy. How can I help you? What equipment can you give me? Equipment? Talk to Smith Dumas, or Crafty Master Nick, or whatever they are called. I keep Abaddon fed. Nothing more. All my blades are for peeling potatoes. Well, what can you give me then? Give? Nothing. If you want something extra, you'll have to trade for it. Redbeard's rules. Not many hands come down here. Why would they? There are two sorts of people in Abaddon. Agents, hands, eyes, and hearts, and everyone else. Servants, envoys, scum. Not that I'm bitter. How can I help? I'd like to trade for equipment. Steward Galoy tells you everything that he has for sale. Most of it is mundane, but there are a few odd items in the storage bays. Sell something. I don't need anything. Alright, safe travels and all that. He walks away. Alright, you have Shiria's chambers. Ooh, an arcane scroll. Alcander's chambers. Okay, so far we just have a bunch of Abaddon servants down here. You know, pretty much all the hands we had in the first game no longer have their chambers down here. So I wonder if they still have a room somewhere, or if they're just have a room out in the world, but they still serve Abaddon. This young man is not well. He is hiding in the shadows, keeping out of sight as much as possible. Yet you can still see the twisted limbs, the twitching, the patches where his skin is peeling off. He says in a raspy voice, I am Volker. I am here to talk to people and for help. What happened to you? He tries to respond, but a long coughing fit interrupts him. It is painful to watch. He finally uses a cloth to mop the blood from his lips and starts again. I was a researcher in the corruption. I made a mistake. The corruption is in me, so I came here. What were you researching? I was in Monitor Base D, watching the darkness, trying to see if it was expanding or contracting. I had to travel, measure, leave the base. I wanted to restore nature, cure the disease, expand the wild realm. I was a fool. What happened? Was a short jaunt from the base. The ground warped around us. We're somewhere else. Lost. Took days to get back. Not enough supplies. You ran out of food? Water first. There was water in the corruption. And food. You must never drink or eat there. But we got so hungry. I drank. And? Such a little tale. Simple. Left. Drank. Came back, but the corruption is in me. It warps me more every day. Volker is still slumped in the corner alone with the sickness. You notice several small bottles on the floor at his feet. Medicines and poultices to aid in his recovery. It's not helping. How is your treatment going? The eyes give me things. A few ease the suffering. Most don't. They experiment. I'm an amusing case for them. Do you think they can cure you? I have to. Hope is what I have. I'm not planning to go to the corruption. That is wise. Very wise. Okay, so somebody definitely has their chambers here. Okay, never mind. We don't want to enter Hart Provost's quarters with those traps. There is a tall, elegant woman sitting at this table. She wears a long, flowing dress that must have been fantastically expensive. It's kind of a shame. She has tried so hard to seem elegant only to look like a sleepless wreck. She sits alone and sips wine with a trembling hand. When you approach, she stands and bows. In these troubled times, we must be obsequious to our masters. We have learned to be humble. I am Envoy Bursula of the Tawan Empire. She sits down and eagerly reclaims her goblet of wine. I want to learn about the Tawan Empire. Oh, the Tawan Empire, once mighty. We had all of Linnaeus at our beck and call for 1,000 years. And then she waves her hand through the air and makes a whoosh noise. Then it went. It all can go so fast. Now we are an old power, dusty and tired, held down under the boot of those we once ruled. You're packed, young and energetic. You are bitter about it. Why wouldn't I be? Empires rise and fall. Avedon was built, and one day it will crumble. The pact is young, and our empire is old. That age has given us a certain perspective. Avedon is angry and scared. They will take out their rage on whoever they can, including the Tawan, including me. The Empire used to rule over us. The Tawan Empire used to rule most of Linnaeus, thus the word empire. We grew old and complacent, and we lost those lands. But we have memories, and some, fools mainly, have ambitions. What do you think of the pact? A young, energetic power. Very successful and very full of itself. But you are only a century from a gruesome civil war, and your 5 nations are constantly at each other's throats. She takes a long sip from her goblet. The Tawan Empire in its decayed, pathetic form will outlast you. You have no right to judge us, Farlander. Ah, open arms within. Stonewall beyond. Yes, we will see how far that takes you in the cauldron that is our world. Can we discuss something else? Why are you here? I came here as an envoy to Avedon, to ask for help, to plead our case. Now I am a simple prisoner, gently held, true, and plied with wine. But I am not free to leave, so I am a prisoner. You want help from us? Of course, Avedon cares for nothing but stability and the safety of the pact, yes? Well, sometimes this means that your interests align with ours. When your raiders attack us, for example, then Avedon can come to our aid. You are a prisoner. Yes, she refills her goblet. These are the days of war. Attacks on Avedon. Some madman named Delesse, who may not even exist. Your leaders see endless threats in the Tawan Empire, so they find me useful. Useful for what? Useful as a hostage. Useful as someone who you can ask questions of. Questions I am completely unable to answer. And when you grow angry and scared enough, you will take out your frustrations by torturing me into oblivion. That is the most value I can offer you. Okay, duly noted. Do that. Armorcraft superior crafted armor gives 4% per level resistance to physical damage. I would like to give you some information. Envoy Diren wants me to give her information about Avedon. Then do so, but slowly. We know that we need to give Diren what she wants. Hanvar's council requires it. We just need to slow the process down as much as possible. Still, thank you for letting me know. She gives you a modest payment. Path of the Blade adds 5% per level damage to melee and missile attacks. With that in mind, let's head down to the dungeons. You stand at the doors into the Avedon dungeons, possibly the most terrifying place in Linnaeus. The most dangerous conspirators against the Pact are brought here. Eventually, they emerge, utterly broken. Since Avedon was attacked, hands have been bringing in prisoners by the wagon load. The sounds made by the prisoners, guards, and interrogations echo to you through the halls. Kalita freezes for a moment. You turn and see a look of terror frozen on her face. Then she shudders, straightens up, and walks on as if nothing happened. You emerge into a large office. A fence rings an area with desks and shelves heavy with records. New inmates are brought here and sat down, while scribes record their arrival, crime, and recommended processing. There are some chains and cages, usually used for wild beasts and monsters in need of examination. When humans are brought here, they are usually just left on the benches. Few are foolish enough to think they can escape from this place. As you approach, a man waves to you. A hand? Excellent. I asked for help. I am Imamura. Please come speak with me. And like I said, I retrained, so instead of Poison Mist, I went for Healing Touch. Undeadric summons the power of nature to heal one ally. So that is the only thing I change here. The last eye on duty in the dungeons walks up to you. He is an aging man with a thick leather jerkin and a broadsword hanging from his belt. You doubt that the weapon has seen any actual use for decades. He gives you a reassuring smile, practiced by years of welcoming the doomed to the dungeons. Welcome, Hand. I am, as I said, Imamura. Greeter, Administrator. You are welcome to look around, but we also require a little assistance. I am looking for recruits for Laria. She finally sent someone? I've been waiting for this for weeks. I will have the gates to the northern cells unlocked. The less important prisoners are up there. Feel free to take any volunteers you can find. You are the administrator of the dungeons. He nods somberly. I am. It is a large, chaotic job. Much to do. Few resources to do it. And, of course, the material process is always trying to escape. I keep the prisoners safe and make it possible to do what we need to do. And I pull from them the information that Redbeard requires to protect the Pact. You keep the prisoners safe? Of course, we protect them while we learn what we must from them. We don't starve them or put them in unsafe circumstances. And then, if we don't need to execute them, we leave them untouched. The ordered way that I run these dungeons is a great point of pride for me. Do you supervise the torture of the prisoners? Imamura looks shocked. Torture? Where do you think you are? The Tawan Empire? Savargald? Do I look like an ogre to you? Torture is crude and ineffective. Under torture, prisoners say whatever they must to make the pain stop. This is often not the truth. Redbeard requires truth. How do you get information from prisoners? We secure them firmly to a table. Then we use a scrying magic developed by Avedon's finest mages to extract their thoughts. There is no lying, no escape. We read prisoners until we know all we must. We look deep within the inmate's soul to see if he or she has been properly terrified and broken, or alternately, if the prisoner is still a threat. How long does the process take? Weeks, even months. The soul is large and dark and full of hidden corners. Happily, the masters of the dungeon work hard. And yet, I confess we are overwhelmed at the moment. The assault on Abaddon drove Redbeard to capture a lot of material, all of which gets dumped down here. Does the process harm the prisoner? No, not at all. Now, some are a bit dazed when they leave here, easily distracted, broken, but I maintain that this is the result of their total defeat at the hands of Abaddon, not of any actual harm suffered at our hands. But it does not matter. The safety of the pact is at stake. Are innocent people ever sent here? All the time. Many is the noble who has tried to rid himself of an ally by forging evidence and having the victim sent to Abaddon. However, outsiders do not know of the effectiveness of our techniques. It is a closely held secret. In these cases, the victim is released and the noble is cordially invited to spend some time on one of our tables. What happens if you see that the prisoner will always fight you? Once we are sure, death. Often I simply don't allow them to wake up from the scrying. I direct one of the eyes to simply end their thoughts. It is the quickest and most merciful of deaths. Imamura's absolute pride and confidence in his work is awe-inspiring, and slightly unnerving. You need my help. Imamura walks around this large office evaluating the prisoners going in and out. He occasionally gives one of them a friendly pat on the shoulder or a form to fill out. You need my help. I'm not sure. Up until this afternoon, everything was fine. Then there was a disturbance in the interrogation room. I have heard shouting, loud shocks. I need someone to go there and investigate. I was going to send up for a hand, but then you arrived. The gate to the interrogation chamber is locked. I will have it unlocked for you. Where is the interrogation chamber? Head south, you can't miss it. Though you should miss it, because only traitors go there. He smiles at this odd, awkward semi-joke. Why don't you go? Because I am a weak old man, and you are far more capable of killing, should it come to that. Any interesting interrogations happening today? Oh yes, a tinker mage named Shaban. Powerful fellow, but he seemed to be almost completely broken. I had not expected any trouble. Imamura is a master of the Abaddon dungeons. He has been having some problems with a prisoner named Shaban. He could use your help. Shaban is currently being questioned in interrogation hall in the south end of the dungeons. There has been a noisy disturbance. Go see what's going on. Alright, first let's go up here and get the... I know this is a harder place to explore, so we won't cover every part of it. Though his time down here has left him more pale than before, this man's weather-worn skin and tattoos mark him as the sailor of Savargald. He is mopping the floor with the speed that comes from long practice. He nods as you approach. I'm Syfal, he says. A pirate, not hiding it. Mind your feet. You step back and he mops up your previous location. You are from Savargald. Savargald. Aye, a pirate. Scourge of the Thieves. Up until last month, anyway. A pirate? Yeah, we caught Daram ships. Took all their valuables. Let them go. Didn't kill anyone we didn't have to. Didn't take slaves. We're not savages. Why were you brought here? To tell all I know about Savargald's ships. Savargald ships. Bases. Routes. They gave me special attention. You lot don't take many of us alive. What did you tell them? Everything. Had no choice. No secrets down here. No lies. Not ever. Syfal the pirate is still dutifully mopping the floors. I'm looking for volunteers to aid with Abaddon's defenses. Syfal thanks. Is it dangerous? Probably. Syfal nods. Good. Mopping is boring. Need something to get my blood flowing. He drops the mop, you direct him to the dungeon exit, and he's off like a shot. Okay, so actually I'm not worried about the short bow, and I'm not worried about the glaive. That's a two-handed weapon, but we can definitely give this to Kalita when she's stronger. I like that. This book is actually more of a leather binder. It's full of interrogation reports, old and new. They were probably requested by the eyes on duty to help with their inquiries. You flip through them, but you don't learn anything of value. You do notice that, as you look through them, Kalita makes it a point to stand far away. Okay. One thing I have to be sure is make sure Kalita as a Blade Master is well equipped before I equip my own character, since just a Tinker Mage. And like I said, for a Blade Master, I do prefer the Sword and Shield combo, as opposed to the, you know, having a spear. Okay, so we do have this he can wear. Okay, I feel like that's all she can wear for now until she gets more strength. But yeah, we definitely want the longbow for a stronger bow, stronger backup. This huge cavern is a prison cell. Many of the captives of Abaddon are being warehoused there, as there aren't enough cells to hold them all. Food is set out for them in a nearby pot twice a day, and they cluster around small braziers and sleep on thin pallets. None of them look at you as you enter. Prisoners here quickly learn to do nothing that draws attention to themselves. Dedrick looks at the crude living conditions of this cold cavern and shudders. I am a man of the woods. I can't imagine anything worse than living here. Then he thinks about the other facilities in this dungeon and he changes his mind. Actually, I can think of several worse things. This young man is pale and thin. He looks like he has been withering away down here for years. Probably because he has. When he sees you are a hand, he runs up and grabs your arm. Please help me, he says as you dislodge your arm. I can't take this anymore. Please let me out. Please. The other prisoners shake their heads in disgust. What are you doing down here? I confess it. I sold secrets to Sir Wargald. I did. I confess it. I only want to be interrogated. Crush me, then let me go. You betrayed the pack? I did. I sold secrets for money. I betrayed you all. Punish me, please. Sir Wargald. One of the far lands. Pirates, ever ravaging the eastern coast. They wanted information. I gave in. How did you get caught? He shakes his head. Redbeard always learns. Admes paces around, twitches, and whimpers. His time in the dungeons is slowly destroying him. What do you want from me? I've been waiting here for years. So much waiting, so much fear. Interrogate me, burn me out. That is all I want. I just want to stop waiting. Want it to be over. You want to be interrogated? I can't take the waiting anymore. The cold, the being scared of any footfall. I need it to end. What do you want from me? Talk to Imamura. Get me punished so I can end my time. Please, I beg you. One of Abaddon's prisoners is a wretch. He is a short, muscular creature, with a pugnacious aspect and a dramatic odor. He snorts at you as you approach. I'm Clang. What do you think you're looking at? Why are you here? I was stealing stuff from the Kava, flipping over the border and taking food, tools, even a bow or dagger if I could get them. You admit to it. Sure I do. Would you believe me if I didn't? I'm a wretch. It's what we do. So why were you brought to Abaddon? Bad luck. I saw some rebels heading through the woods. Don't know what they were doing or nothing, but they want to fry my head to see if I can remember something good. And how is that going? They peeked in me head 3 times. Got nothing. Now they're just figuring what to do with me. Stupid Abaddon. Cost me lots of good looting time. I'm looking for volunteers to aid with Abaddon defenses. What? A chance to get out of this pit? Show I'm useful? Maybe get sent home to my wives and children's? Sign me up. And just like that, Clang is gone. Off to a brighter future. Okay, so at least we got another prisoner. There is an old, thin man curled up in the corner. He wears a tattered robe, and his face has a Kellum look to it. He doesn't look at you when you get close. He just mutters, "Remire, prisoner, I submit." What are you doing here? Sold magic. Sold magic. Sold secrets. Across border. Sold to the... Yes? His head snaps towards you. His eyes are glowing red. The room suddenly grows very warm. He actually hisses at you. Burn me. Burn my brain. All secrets. Taken when I was a little boy. I take no more. Leave me be. He's starting to grow unhinged. You back away. I'm looking for volunteers to aid with Abaddon defenses. Remire lets out a long, shrill laugh. The sound rapidly grows into a shriek. More? Take more? A wizard of the Kellum? And you would have me haul rocks? Clean latrines? Take no more! Take no more! Take no more! Oh, great. Okay, we are going to use the javelin for him because even though he can cast spells, his javelin is his biggest strength here. Okay, this wolf has no ability, but we can... That is a strong... One of your characters has just been knocked unconscious. This happens when your health level reaches 0. Once combat is over, your unconscious characters can be revived. A resurrection scroll can bring back a knocked out ally before battle is done. Okay, that is not the result I wanted at all. I hope I still have enough to take him out, though. Dang, how did he... Right. He is strong, but I think he is beatable. Okay, that was tougher than it needed to be. But at least we get some loot out of it. Okay, so I think he's not interested in helping out with Abaddon's defenses, right? Okay, I think from what I remember, we do need to have one more to complete that mission. Okay, so that was just another book to read. Okay, I'm not going to go in there yet because I know that is an area that we can't get to yet, or it's too strong for us anyway. I mean, I already used 3 healing potions on that freaking guy already, so let's just try to stay alive as much as we can. There was an old Kava woman in this hall mopping the floor. Even in the shadows and grime, she maintains a dignified air. She nods as you approach. Greetings, Hand. I am Teresa. I hope that you are well. Tell me about this area. She smiles. I know little. I've heard that there is a dragon in residence in the center cave. I've also been warned not to go into the rooms to the north. Why not? Some sort of dangerous, unexplained magic. Certainly nothing I could defend myself against. When a hand tells me to not do something, I don't do it. I've learned. Why are you here? I'm a mayor of the Kava. Well, I was. The arrogance and greed of the hands disturbed me. They came to my town and started to make demands. I turned them out. Hands are arrogant and greedy? So I thought. Now I know that you are all wise and brave servants of Abaddon, even if none of you ever do anything for any of us little people without a hearty bribe. I'm only telling you what some believe, not me. So you were brought here. Oh yes, you all had to show me the error of my ways, and you have. And you show me still. Show me and show me. Now nobody in the Kava who hears my tale will refuse a hand anything. That is truth. I'm looking for volunteers to aid with Abaddon defenses. She nods and lets the mop slip from her fingers. The wood hits the stone floor with a loud thunk. You give her directions and, with a final word of gratitude, she walks off toward the dungeon entrance. Okay, so these 2 areas are locked off. Okay, this is another ledger. I am very curious and more of a Kalita story though. That's why I'm pretty much going to take her on all of my missions here. Just get more background on her, but I will alternate between the other companion. Like I have Dedrick with me right now, but I will still switch it up with the others as well. In the meantime, well, we do have that quest for Laria done quick. Let's see if we can get this one for Imamora done. This is the interrogation hall of the dungeons. There are 5 alcoves. Each has a marble table, a tall crystal pillar, and a book for recording answers. Abaddon doesn't resort to anything as crude as physical torture. Instead, sophisticated magic is used to paralyze prisoners and extract thoughts from their heads. They are left drained, exhausted, and broken, all secrets revealed. It's a highly organized process, which is why the current disruption is so unusual. There is something going on to the east. A prisoner has broken loose and the guards and interrogators are trying to restrain him. When you enter the interrogation chamber, Kalita stops moving. It's like her usual attacks, but it lasts much longer this time. Her face is pale. Beads of sweat appear on her brow. She stares at nothing, her whole body trembling slightly. Dedrick puts his hand on Kalita's shoulder. Be patient. She will be fine when the spell ends. And then Kalita starts moving again. She says, as if nothing happened, Malik, this is a dark place. Let us finish our business and move on. This book is for the taking of notes during interrogations. Most of the pages are blank, but a few have names, dates, and lists of questions and answers. None of the records seem relevant to your current work. Okay, same dialogue. The center of the interrogation hall is currently a chaotic, noisy mess. There are humanoids chained everywhere, a mix of wretches and ogres. You recognize their tribal marks. They have been brought here from the contested lands, probably to drain their brains of everything they might know about the rebellion. They are all howling at the tops of their lungs. In the center of the room, 3 interrogators are standing around an escapee. You move closer to see if he can help. You get close enough to see what is happening. The escaped prisoner is a Darramite. He still wears the leather belt and shoulder straps that mark him as a Tinker Mage, though his tools have, of course, been taken away. One of the interrogators, an Eye of Abaddon, says, "Jaban, return to your chains. You will only suffer more otherwise." Jaban says nothing in response. Instead, he raises his hand, snaps his fingers, and mutters a word of power. The shackles holding the wretches and ogres in place spring open. The gate to the west slams shut. Satisfied with the show of power, he turns and runs. The Eye sees you. She shouts, "The prisoners! Stop them!" Okay, not much Zedra can do except for healing. One of your characters has been afflicted with poison or acid. This will damage the character every turn until it fades away or is cured. Some characters have abilities that can cure poison or other such harmful conditions. Curing Brew can also help. Okay. Okay, so we got out of that alive with no casualties. You meet the most terrifying woman in Linnaeus. She doesn't need to introduce herself. She is Levon, chief interrogator and master of the Abaddon dungeons, and she is very angry. She walks up to you, not wasting time with introductions. Humiliation, a disgusting lapse, an escape from my custody right in front of your eyes. Someone is going to pay for this, I promise you. I like to talk about the interrogations. She turns to you, surprised. You are a brave one, and most of your kind avoid me. That could ever save them. And the interrogations? Simple enough. Traitors and criminals are chained to the tables. We ask them questions. Images from their minds appear in the crystals. In time, we know all. Alita starts to respond to this, but she has a good sense to remain silent. Does it cause any damage? Not really. A certain lassitude, loss of spirit, terror of Abaddon. When we send them home, they are broken enough to provide everyone with a good example. Can they ever fool you? No, never. Trying to hide anything from the crystals only causes pain, and the end is always the same. Why do the hands avoid you? Because they are afraid of ending up on one of my tables. They waste their fear. Why? Because if they are loyal, they have nothing to fear, and if they misbehave, they will never evade me. Isla Von stomps around the interrogation chamber, shouting at her underlings and checking every crystal, bed, and shackle. Every few minutes, she shouts, "Everything must be checked. This must not happen again." I'd like to talk to you about Shaban. He was a traitor, Dar-Ramite. I had started to question him, but his magical training was helping him to resist. I would have broken him soon. What was his crime? I'm not sure. Dealing with the Tawan Farlanders, I believe. I try not to learn too much about the crimes of my subjects. Exploring their minds on my own helps me to ask the correct questions. How did he escape? We had thought that he was weak and tired, too much so to use his spells. He has fooled us. We don't have enough guards, and asking Redbeard for them has been no help. I don't accept the blame. You round the corner and enter Abaddon's security cells, where the more cunning and dangerous prisoners are stored. You find that Shaban has already used his little lock trick to open the doors. A bunch of angry prisoners are trying to escape, then they run into you. Alright, build a snare turret. Summon another wolf. I feel like Dedrick doesn't have a whole lot of options here. You have caught up with Shaban. The belt at his waist is no longer empty. He has already scavenged some cruel tools. He has already used them to sabotage some of the defenses left by the stairway. As you approach, the turrets turn to face you. When you approach, he's already starting to flee down the stairs. He turns and sees you. "Just let me escape, Hand," he says. "You might kill me, but you will pay a deadly price doing it. I'm not scared of you, traitor." Moments later, your bold approach is interrupted by the need to dodge a volley of crossbow bolts. Shaban smirks and runs downstairs. Oh, whoa, he did. We definitely need to get away from those crossbow. Okay, never mind. We can still get away from them, though. It's just unfortunate that the prisoners didn't come more to us in that instance. With the pathing. But we still have Kalita back anyway. Alright, you all already know about Armorcraft. Okay, is there anything else we can explore over here, though, before we head up? Oh, it doesn't. Well, we did find another Blessed Runestone. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about opening too many locks here. Okay, we're not going to worry about it. We're just way too weak for those crossbow bolts right now. Okay, so she has nothing new to say. I spoke with Admes. Pathetic fellow. Yes, he was a servant of Avedon who betrayed us all for mere money. We have all agreed to make a particular example of him. Shaban broke loose. He has escaped into the dungeons. What? Imamora is furious. Levon assured me that he was broken. She has grown sloppy and arrogant. Everyone else is afraid to see it, but I am not. He indulges in a long session of intense cursing. Who knows what he is doing down there? As Mamora speaks, he removes a pouch of gemstones from its desk and gives it to you. He could do great harm, but he must be stopped. To get to him, I will need a brave, industrious hand. He stares at you. I can help you to find Shaban. Mamora seems to be about to agree, but then he inspects you more closely. Shaban is no weakling, and I would rather not send you to your death. Gain some more experience, and then I will send you after the traitor. That is all I need. Then enjoy your visit to the dungeons. I hope we never see you down here under more difficult circumstances. Okay, so it is something we're going to have to come back to then. That is what the dungeons look like. Focus Mastery adds 5% per level to chance of inflicting critical damage. All right, let's head back over to okay, so these are the stuff in Avedon. Trapping for Nicodemus. Restoring Avedon. Tokens of Honor, which will come later. Laria's Defenses, which will clear up here soon. Council's Curiosity, and the Hunt for Shaban. I found 3 conscripts for you. I know, I already have them in training. On behalf of Avedon, I thank you for your brave service. Also, why don't you take this? She takes a scarab out of a pouch and hands it to you. They're much more useful for hands anyway. Anything else I can do for the good of Avedon and also for pay? Thank you for asking. No, I have a thought, but you will have to be better traveled. Ooh, that was a huge boost of XP then. Alright, what leveled up here? I have to go back to my thing here that I have pulled up for this. So give me just a minute. Like, I don't mind if my group levels up here. if my companions level up before my main character, but still, it is kind of annoying that I tend to forget what levels up exactly. Okay, cool. So strength was what leveled up. Do that again then. We will go down searing pot, fling a small orb full of acid, burning the target. Blessing of Thorns surrounds all nearby allies with the Shield of Thorns, damaging attackers. Yank Shot fires a vicious hook that damages the target and pulls it closer to you. Okay, sounds good to me. Alright, so with that in mind, since we've done all we can in Abaddon for now, let's just head on to the contested lands. Ooh, what's in this room? Oh. Too complicated to be picked. Oh, whatever. We'll take Khalida and Yonit. Khalida and Dedrick. You note that someone has burned away some of the undergrowth around the pylon, allowing much easier access. Redbeard probably sent someone through to clear the way for his hands. Okay, so now we're back in Rockridge Keep. You return to Rockridge Keep. Some of the guards on duty recognize you. One of them calls out, "Malik, you're back. Ready to stop lazing about and get to work?" And then the symbol on your shoulder is noticed. The soldiers, formerly your friends and compatriots, get very quiet. After a few polite greetings, one by one, they quietly find other places they need to be. Dedrick says, "This is for the best. We hands should hold ourselves apart from others. It is a dramatic display of how different your life is now that you are an agent of Abaddon. And you haven't even spoken with Commander Odile." You return to Commander Odile's office. He looks up at you and gives you a nod, ready to receive your report and give you your next orders. And then he sees a mark on your shoulder, the symbol of a hand of Abaddon. He looks like he has just swallowed something vile. Malik, it appears that you have received quite the promotion since last I saw you. I am honored to be a hand of Abaddon now. An honor, perhaps, in a sense. I admit I did not foresee Redbeard conscripting you, though it is his right. I offer my condolences, and I hope you can keep the power of your office from corrupting you. I assume then that you have been to Abaddon. Is aid forthcoming? I am it. I see. One hand, young and barely trained. Abaddon continues to be, if nothing else, predictable. But, since it appears I will be working with you, I should give you the guest quarters. They are upstairs in this tower. I will have them unlocked for you. Now, what noble service are you planning to provide for us? I've been sent to investigate some sort of rebel lair. Abaddon knew of that? Interesting. The knowledge did not come from me. He reaches for a map, inspects it, and molds his options. Then he points to a location on it. The rebel lair is there, abandoned and trapped. It seems to have been dug out by wretches, who were probably happily involved with the rebels. I lack the scouts for a proper infiltration. Happily, you are here now. A new location has been revealed on the world map. Leave Rockridge Keep and to travel to it. Why do you think the rebels were at this lair? The rebels are wild realm tribesmen, truly skilled at passing through the woods without leaving a trail. And yet, I have resources of my own, and I was able to track a band of them to near there. A thin lead, true, but the best I have been able to find in this chaos. Anything else I should look for? Any signs of the lost scout Silky? Based on what you told me, I hold slim hope that she still lives. So go, kill wretches, tell you what I learned of the rebels. That is all, and yet it is enough. I look forward to seeing how you perform. In my experience, Hands of Abaddon are mainly concerned with self-congratulation and the amassing of wealth and influence. I am eager to improve the reputation of Abaddon in your eyes. A long journey, I am sure, and yet perhaps not an impossible one. Humility would serve Abaddon well. Anything else you would know before you go on your journey? I want to discuss my mission here. Ooh. Okay, well, we can finish talking to him in the next part of Let's Play, so I'll see you all until then.